Hello the internet, my name's Laura, welcome back to my channel. I have come to a realization about myself. I hate repotting plants. So yeah, I always see these videos on YouTube where people are like, oh, let's go ahead and repot. Here's my soil mixture. I love my soil mixture and I love repotting my plants and all this kind of stuff. And like, I never thought that I didn't like repotting, but I realized that I like really try and put it off whenever I have to do it, because I have my Firestorm sedum that you guys see me talk about all the time, and I'm like, well, I really need to repot it, and I never really do. And I have those begonias that are in the terrarium that I'm like, well, I need to pull them out, and I need to pull them out, and I need to get them in their own little pots, and they've been sitting there for quite a while. So I've decided that if I turn this into like a video about how sometimes we don't really like some of the things that we have to do for our plants, that I can turn it into like a learning experience. Okay, maybe not. But anyway, I don't like it, and I'm going to do it anyway because I need to do it. So, part of the reason I think that I have such a problem is because I don't necessarily want to have to do all the work with the soil. Like, I kind of just want to have my soil just be. And, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, technically I could just buy Miracle Grow potting soil, I know, I hear you all gasping, and just throw it in there and the plants are going to do what they can, right? Unfortunately, I've heard way too many people talk about the benefits of, that's not going to work. Hold on. Unfortunately, I've heard way too many people talk about the benefits of, you know, adding extra, even if you just add extra perlite. Wow, that sun is really coming through that window like crazy. Oh, it's reflecting off of a car. Let me see. Okay. This is apparently just not the best time of day for me to be doing my videos. There's just too many benefits that I've seen to having like a specially made up soil, especially with the succulents, just because it needs to be so well draining, and I've had so much problems with root rotting my succulents because it's not well draining enough. So yay. Anyway, I have a little bit of soil left over. This is just my generic, pretty sure this is just my generic Coco Coir perlite, little bit of Miracle Grow cactus soil, and possibly some orchid bark, I think is what this was. So I'm just gonna stick that in there. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I want to put this guy into a bigger pot, and I'm also going to add these other, the same thing, Firestorm sedums, and I'm just going to make a big Firestorm sedum pot, which is going to be Firestorm sedums. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. Ooh, okay. My little chopstick that was holding it up. Roots don't look too bad on that guy. Looks like I might have to stick it up a little bit more with some more soil. Oh, you guys probably want to see this. Okay. There we go. It's a little angled, but that'll work. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and you guys can look at this over here, I have my little container of rehydrated Coco Coir. I just stuck it in this big container and I just rehydrated it, and it's all sitting in here. So I'm going to do a couple scoops of this into my container. 2, 3. Okay, so 3 of that. And then I'm going to do 1 of my Miracle-Gro cactus mix. This is me attempting to, measure it all out. 1 of that. And where is my perlite? And then Miracle-Gro perlite, not that it matters, but Miracle-Gro is what I can get. Perlite. Ugh. And I really, really want to add some orchid bark to this. Oh, I actually like how that looks. I want to add some orchid bark to this, but I only have this coarse blend. I guess I'll add just a little bit. That was me adding just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so mixing all that up. I went to Home Depot and tried to find some worm castings, and they didn't have it. So that's why I'm still using, I'm trying to get away from using the Miracle-Gro. I know, as much as I said that I'm like annoyed with having to mess around with soil, I'm like still trying to, I don't know. There we go. All right. So this guy's gonna go right in the middle. Like, oh, yeah, I like that, the depth of that a little bit better. And then I'm going to fill in all around here and hope that I made enough soil for this. If not, I guess I can make some more. So how have you guys been? I know I've been kind of complaining about my life, but how's everybody else doing? Push that down in here. You know, how many of you have your lives pretty changed by the COVID thing? How many of you really haven't had your lives change all that much except for, you know, like little bitty bits? And how many of you are just like, haven't had your lives change very much, but it's been very stressful? Because I'm definitely in that third camp, where my life really hasn't changed all that much, but it has been, I think I'm going to pull off some of these bottom leaves. My life really hasn't changed all that much, but it has been really stressful for me. And that's just because, you know, I see what everybody's struggling with, you know, and when I see that I'm not struggling with that, then I get kind of, I feel guilty. I do, because it's like my life is not really all that bad, you know, and these other people are like having to decide between, you know, going to work or being kicked off of unemployment, you know, and that just seems not fair. And, you know, I don't have to even make that decision, so I don't know. But thinking about stuff like that is obviously what makes me stressed, and at the same time, I don't want to, like, ignore it, because, you know, that's people's lives, you know, like they really are going through that, whether or not, you know, everybody's going through that. And then all these riots and everything. I definitely was one of those people who didn't think they were racist, you know, and then even before this, I started to realize how racist I really was, and didn't really know what to do about it. And now, I'm actually trying to do something about it. Been donating. I've been, well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn, but just be aware that, you know, if you're gonna try and make a change for the benefit of other people, that you don't just, you know, pay lip service to it, like actually go out and do stuff. Because it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help out with this and this, that, and the other thing, and then you never do, you know. Like, not that I'm blaming anybody, because there's a lot of stuff to worry about. You can't worry about everything. But whatever you are gonna pick, you know, just pick that and, you know, try and make a difference if you can. Even if it's not the Black Lives Matter thing or whatever, you know, just pick something. Make a difference in the world. Anyway. Man, I'm just rambling. That's okay. So, filling up this pot still. Wow, this is ending up a lot more full than I thought it was going to, but I seriously looked at this pot and I was like, oh, this pot is way too big. This is not the pot I want to use. And now that I've actually got all these plants in here, I'm like, no, this pot was a good sized pot for this. Which is fabulous. Okay, get a little more dirt down in here. Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about these really well-draining soils is I feel like a lot of times they just kind of, you water them and then they go, which, I mean, I guess is part of the, you know, if they've got air in them, that's what they're supposed to do. Anyway, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to get this little tie off of here. This was me attempting to hold it up, and I have since decided that I'm not going to do that anymore. This plant just gets to do whatever this plant wants to do. Just whatever it wants to do. I don't care. He's been happy. I've been ignoring him, and he's been doing great. So I am just going to ignore him and let him do what he wants to do. And like I said in my other video, he's only been outside for a little bit, but man, he has already gotten some sun stress color on him. And then these other guys, which are all green, have been inside, so I'm hoping as soon as those guys go outside, they will get some stress on them too, because it's very beautiful. So there is my pot. It's a big pot, but that should hold this guy for a really long time. I shouldn't have to repot for forever. Forever, at least a year. Toss that away. My trash can is right there. It's actually holding my camera. I know, I'm crazy. Okay, so we're gonna put this over here. Man, this is the other thing. I really need like a workbench. Like something that contains all the mess, because like I do this and then right afterward, it's just a freaking mess. And then I feel bad because this is my new basement. And I just get dirt everywhere. I mean, I do at least clean it up, I suppose, but anyway. Okay, pause for a sec. Okay, so my next project is getting these begonias out of here that have been really needing to come out for a while. My begonia Etna and my begonia Peter Piper. And so I am going to be sticking them in here. But first I have to get them out. So they've been growing really nicely in the sphagnum moss, and so I want to take them out of here without disturbing them too much. There we go. Look at those beautiful leaves on there. Beautiful leaves, beautiful roots. Oh, I didn't have them there. Leaves and roots. I'm actually going to leave this sphagnum moss attached to the roots. Last time I pulled it off, when I transplanted my begonia Etna, and the begonia Etna just did terribly. And I don't know whether it was because I messed around with the roots way too much or what it was. But this time, I'm absolutely going to try and make this transition as easy as possible. I have already, I need more dirt. I've already made sure that it was not in a super high humidity environment within the terrarium. Because last time I think that was part of the problem. So it's been sitting, it's not been in super high humidity in there. I've just been letting the humidity not plummet in there, but just not be super high. And so now we're going to see. Okay, I don't want to cover up the little, there we go. But anyway, that seems pretty good there. And we're going to see how that goes. So that is the one. And then, I got to try and get this Peter Piper out of here. It's going to be interesting. That one is definitely far more established than the begonia Etna was. Okay, well, go for it. The worst that happens is you kill this plant that you've been growing for months and months. That's all, right? I need to, sorry. I need to be able to get into the top here a little bit better. Okay. It looks like this. The mother plant is starting to, or the mother leaf is starting to rot a little bit. And so I'm just gonna kind of carefully peel away the part that's rotting to hopefully keep that from rotting the plant. And then we're going to stick this in here. And, yeah. And then cover over all of this with actual soil dirt. Soil dirt. Soil dirt. And we'll see what happens. I've never tried to pull a Peter Piper out of the terrarium before. It might make the transition just fine, because my begonia breakdance, after my failure with my Etna, my begonia breakdance made the transition without like even a hiccup. Never had any problems with those babies. They just went right into dirt and were happy and healthy and loving life. So, okay. Oddly enough, again, I seem to have chosen the correct size pot. So, ta-da! Ta-da! And I guess I have to reorganize in here a little bit. How you guys doing? Is anything growing in here? Is anything that I want to be growing in here? Well, it looks like the red kiss is definitely rooted. Let me see about these other guys. Oh, yep. Oh, that begonia breakdance is trying to put out leaves, but they're on the underside of the leaves. Or the underside of the leaf, so it's going to have to figure that out pretty quickly before it is unable to grow. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Plants find a way. But anyway, so now I've still got my begonia breakdance cuttings in here. These are the same cuttings from the leaf. Like, it's pieces of the leaf that I used to propagate my other begonia breakdance, the plants that I actually have over there. And then I finally put a red kiss in here because I figured why not also try and propagate a red kiss. It's a very pretty plant. And and you guys might have seen in my other video, I had some of my begonia griffin, which is looking much better than it did. I had a whole bunch of leaves off of here that I tried to propagate and they just rotted. It's possible that the leaves themselves had bacteria and stuff on them, and so when I put them into the system, that bacteria that just came on them like did some stuff. But the plant itself is doing fine, so it's a shame that none of those propagations worked, and I'm going to have to decontaminate the sphagnum moss that I used. But it's a learning process. Sphagnum moss is not, you know, amazing godsend like you would assume. Like I mean, it's really worked out really well for me, but it is not perfect. So, anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. Let me move you guys back up so you can see me. If you want to see me, that's fine. Hi. Yeah. So that was my potting up video because I decided I might as well. Now it's done. I just have to water these guys and hope that I have not killed them. Maybe that's why I don't like potting, because I'm always worried that once I shift things, like, they're going to die. I don't know. Maybe that is it. But anyway, for right now, everything's good. And I will keep you guys updated. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. And thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye-bye.